Can I request the President and Founder of Kannada Balga, Dr. Sneha Kulkarni, to come to the dais, please? And also, can I request the Chairman of Kannadigaru UK, Ganapati Bhatt, to the dais, please? Madam, please. Can I request the Chairman of Kannadigaru UK, Ganapati Bhatt, to pay tribute to Basaveshwara, please? And also, can I request the Founder of Kannada Balga to pay tribute to Basaveshwara, please?
Sharnati. I am Divya Patil. Most of you may be more familiar with my dad, Dr. Neeraj Patil. On behalf of the Lambeth Basaveshwara Foundation, I am honoured to introduce Her Excellency Srimati Gayatri Isar Kumar, the High Commissioner of India. I welcome Dr. Sneha Kulkarni, who is a founding member of Kannada Balga UK, and Shri Ganapati Bhatt, Chairman of Kannadigaru UK. We welcome you all here today to celebrate the 889th birth anniversary of Lord Basaveshwara. We also want to acknowledge the efforts of B.R. Ambedkar in fighting for a fairer world. For those of you who are less familiar with his teachings, Basaveshwara was a man ahead of his time. He endorsed intercaste marriages, welcomed women into his parliament, and pioneered a democratic system similar to the one we follow today. My question to you all today is, if Basaveshwara were alive today, what would he be teaching us? How can we, as individuals and as a society, incorporate his teachings into the fast-paced, ever-changing modern-day world? I hope he would see our democratic system and feel pride. I hope he would be proud of all the people who have faced many adversities and yet, like himself, have brought reform to the attention of the world. On the contrary, it is important to acknowledge how much work is yet to be done. We still face issues of underrepresentation and discrimination around the world. Despite the progression of society, our world is far from the one that Basaveshwara imagined. And that is why this statue is so important. This statue is a reminder to continue to spread his story and his teachings. We must broadcast his dream of an equal world and the importance of the work required from each of us. These carvings around the statue depict Basaveshwara's model parliament of 50% men and 50% women, which strived for reform. Almost 900 years later, despite being considered a forward-thinking society, only 14% of the Lok Sabha are women, and only 35% of the MPs in the British Parliament are women. In the UK, this has increased by around 10% since I was born. This increase, I believe, has been made possible by the wonderful women who have strived for equal representation. On that note, the Basaveshwara Foundation are fortunate to welcome the High Commissioner of India, Srimati Gayatri Isar Kumar to our gathering today. Her achievements and positions of power across the world are motivating and empowering to all of us. As a young girl, I feel proud and inspired when seeing such strong, powerful and motivated women such as yourself in power. You are an inspirational role model to many others, reminding us that we also can do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, can I request Mr. Ganapati to say a few words? Respected members of the diaspora and respected High Commissioner of India, Srimati Gayatri Isar, also Dr. Neeraj Patil and Manmohan Singh ji, Minister Coordination and everyone. It's our privilege to stand next to India, representation, highest representation of India, and at the 889th anniversary of Lord Basaveshwara, and also jointly as Dr. Neeraj Patil rightly put it, like Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So a lot of you may be asking, like, what is the similarity between Lord Basaveshwara and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Both are social reformers. Basically, Lord Basaveshwara fought against the caste system, and he installed the Anubhava Mantapa, which is the ancient Parliament of India. At the same time, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who is the architect of Indian Constitution, also fought for the reform of India, or worldwide. So they are larger than life, saints who have really made a name for their work. So today, at this juncture, our community is very privileged to have both Dr. Ambedkar and Basavana's joint celebration today, and I'm really proud to say that Dr. Neeraj Patil has done a wonderful job of erecting this statue here, and on behalf of Kannada community, we are very proud of this work of Dr. Neeraj Patil. At the same time, my congratulations to our High Commissioner for attending this event, and thank you so much. And I can tell only few words. We are very proud to be Indian. We are proud to be Basavana followers. At the same time, we are proud to be Vishwa Kannadiga, which is basically, worldwide we have all our presence. And from the diaspora, I can only say that near the next few years, with the participation of all of you, we need to attend these events and make sure that our presence is felt. And thank you so much. I have the pleasure of introducing mother of our Kannada community. Sneha Kulkarni does not need any introduction, madam. She is Sneha Kulkarni and her husband Arvind Kulkarni. Applause for Arvind Kulkarni as well. So they both have been promoting Kannada for the last 40 years, and they run a Kannada organization which is the world's oldest Kannada organization. Over to Dr. Sneha Kulkarni.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry. First of all, I have to say sorry for my voice. I've got a very bad mental properly. But it's a chance I've got, and I thank Dr. Patil for giving me this opportunity to be part of this important occasion of 89th birth anniversary. See what is. I have learned a lot about Basavana from my family, friends and teachers. And as far as Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, his life was part of my school career. I studied in Bombay. All my schooling and medical career was in Mumbai. And that's where I learned about, because his life was a chapter in our curriculum. So I'd seen his son's life as well. And what's impacted on my life is their selfless humanitarian work. Without any expectations, they have been doing everything for the world, and no discrimination in any way. And that impacted my life from my childhood. My parents followed the same attitude towards humanitarian work, and that made my life even stronger. And because of that, I have full faith and a lot of encouragement from these two great personalities. This is why we started Kannada Balaga UK about 40 years ago, with the idea of being completely non-religious, because that's what they both advocated. No discrimination from anybody. Any Kannada people, anybody can become life members for us. But no profits, nothing. We just work for Kannada culture and Kannada language, and now humanitarian work as well. And this is something I want to continue in my life as long as I have breath in my life. So I hope this will work, and Basavana will always bless me. Baba Sahib Ambedkar will be blessing me. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.
Madam, this statue, I could not have erected this statue without support of three key people: Mr. Abhijit Salimat, Mr. Ranganath Mirji, and Kanti Patel. They are all members of our Basaveshwara Foundation. I sincerely thank all the three. So without their support, I would not have been able to erect this statue. Thank you very much for you all being here. Now, Madam, a small token of gift on behalf of Basaveshwara Foundation to you, Madam, from Abhijit Salimat.
Abhijit.
Yes, madam. This is the one. So, madam, come closer. Yeah. So, madam, So, on behalf of the Basaveshwara Foundation, we would like to give a small token of gift to Mr. Manmeet Singh ji as well, Mr. Kanti Patel. Thank you. So, Madam, we are very, very honored to have you here. Just that, this is the first statue unveiled by an Indian Prime Minister on the British soil, and this is the first conceptual statue approved by the British Parliament. As you know, there is a Statues Act in Great Britain. As per 1854 Statues Act, you need the permission from the Cabinet Minister for Culture, Media and Sports. So even though I was a mayor of this area, even though my own council gave the approval for the land and everything, we still had to get the approval from the British Cabinet Minister for Culture, Media and Sports. And from what I know is, this is the first conceptual statue approved by the British Cabinet Minister on a conceptual basis, because Basaveshwara never lived in Great Britain. So there is no connection for Basaveshwara and Great Britain, like Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru, or Ambedkar, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Now, it's only because Basaveshwara preached the British values of democracy, gender equality, freedom of speech, the approval was given. And we hope, we in the continuing days, we want to work in partnership with Indian High Commission to propagate our Indian culture and heritage. And this monument has been so famous, almost everybody who comes from South India makes it a point to visit here. And we're delighted to have you, madam, and we want successive High Commissioners to come and bless us here. And I request, madam, you to address and say a few words.
Thank you. Do I need a mic?
Of course, yes, you have to.
This will be easier without. Thank you. I just want to say that when you say that.
Please guide me. Thank you.
When you say. when you wonder what is the connection of Basaveshwaraji with the UK, I think the fact that all the points that you mentioned are just underline how relevant he and his thoughts and his the causes that he committed himself to, how relevant they are to the UK and to the world. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Neeraj Patil for his invitation. I would like to congratulate all the members of the organization of the Kannada associations here in the UK. As a Bangalorean myself, I am very, very proud of you all. Thank you. The fact that Madam Kulkarni, Mr. Bhatt, the sponsors of the statue, the effort, the perseverance of Dr. Neeraj Patil in just pushing for it, going through all the bureaucratic procedures, the political, patronage, all that must have been required from the different political parties, from so many different offices, to be able to get this statue made here, to be able to get this piece of land, to get permissions. It's a huge, huge task. I don't know how many of us could even think of doing even half of this even today. So I must say that the fact that we have the statue of Basaveshwaraji here in London, looking at Westminster, a man who thought about democracy, a man who had, he had a model parliament, he had a vision of equality, of women's participation. These are all things that the world, so many hundreds of years later, we are still struggling with that. We are still trying to justify gender balance and gender equality. And whereas people who were aware, people who had wisdom, had thought about this long ago, it's just the politics and it's just the vested interests who have prevented the vision of wise people like this from actually happening on the ground. But nevertheless, there are enough committed people to see that these dreams and these visions will be realized one day. To come back to what I was saying earlier, that there may not be such a connect between Basaveshwaraji, the way you had our national leaders coming here, interacting here, engaging with the leaders here, but successive generations of Kannadigas, you have made yourselves so relevant here in every single organization, in every single institution, in every single academic institution, whether it is research or whether it is business or whether it is industry or whether it is in the world of healthcare, above all healthcare and IT. I'm amazed at the way when I go out and I try to meet the people in the different sectors. The first people who I meet, the first wave of people who I see are people from India, and wherever it involves high technology or wherever it involves information technology, wherever it involves healthcare, I see wherever I have gone in the UK, not only here in London, it is people from back home, from Karnataka, who are at the forefront. And I heartily congratulate you for this. As this young lady, Miss Patil, has spoken so succinctly and so in such an erudite manner, I feel proud of you. On the contrary, I feel proud of you that the young generation of the families from Karnataka who have come here, you have made your future generations so capable. You have given them the learning, you have given them the knowledge, you have given them the opportunity, and you're building in them the capacity to be able to carry the flag forward and also to be leaders in their specific areas. They're all doing so well, and I wish them even further success, continued success, but further success. May they reach new heights of achievement in every sphere of their learning and their entrepreneurship, any initiatives that they take in the political level or even public administration. I would like to see members of your community in public administration as well, so that, just like I always say, that Indians, wherever we are, the diaspora, you may be British citizens, but you have some part of India still in your heart. You are the diaspora. You are much valued, the diaspora. You are much valued by the communities among which you live and you work. And you are always net contributors, net givers. You are always sharing and giving and being the friendly neighbor who's there should there be a need. I have seen the way at the time of COVID, the Indian community, the Indian healthcare personnel, the doctors, the nurses, and all the other healthcare armies of people came forward and were at the forefront of the battle against this virus. Many of you have suffered, many of you have sacrificed, and I don't think your sacrifice and what you gave in that most challenging time, I don't think that will ever be forgotten by the community here, the Indian community and the larger community over here in Britain. I hear about this everywhere I go. Now it's been 2 years, but everywhere I receive thanks for the efforts of the Indian community. Not only the healthcare, but also regular people like us, everybody over here, who came forward to help with food, with medicines, with just support, with just, advice, assistance, showing the way to Indian nationals who were stranded here, people who needed to be able to, get some sort of support and succor because they were vulnerable at the time of the pandemic. So keep that up, keep it up, and please remember that the Indian High Commission, my officers, Minister Coordination, Mr. Manmeet Singh is here, my officers and I, we always look forward to welcoming you all. Now that the pandemic is over, we are going to begin to start having our functions. During the pandemic, I used to meet different communities in small groups at the High Commission every week. But now that the pandemic is over, we will start having events and really, celebrating your success and our festivals in an appropriate way together. So once again, I thank you. I am really happy that you are keeping the awareness about our leaders, the leaders at the forefront of our national movement, the President of the Constituent Assembly, when our Constitution was made, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. His service to our country is beyond measure, and so we must make sure that we pay him by upholding the principles and the provisions in the Constitution of India, and by being good Indians, and by being united Indian community when we are abroad. So with these few words, I congratulate you all once again, and thank you for inviting me and my colleagues, and wish you all a wonderful day today, a happy celebration.
Thank you, Madam, for your inspiration. We want successive Indian High Commissioners to inspire us, and the diaspora wants to work in partnership with High Commission. And we must say, you have inspired us, and you have always been supportive of the diaspora community, and thank you very much, Madam. And before you go, we would like to have a group photo of the diaspora. So can everyone hold a placard of Basaveshwara, and there's some Indian flags as well, so you all can come at the background. So, Madam.